Okay, let's see how many of these I can get through before I get interrupted. I believe I did number 11 on the board, but I'm going to go ahead and do that here now. You're going to divide into x minus, not plus, minus 8. Since you're skipping the linear term, you do have to add in that 0 and then minus 74. Okay, so I'm going to need an x here because x times x is x squared and x times minus 8. And then we'll subtract. So remember when you're subtracting, you just change the signs. So that's going to leave me with a positive 8x and then bring down that 74. I'm going to need an 8 here, a positive 8, which of course is going to give me a positive 8x and then a minus 64. So that whenever I subtract these, right, that's going to become a positive 64. So that would be a negative 10. So my answer for number 11, I'm going to write it up here, would be x plus 8 minus 10 over x minus 8. Again, that's the answer, whoops, not an eraser, for number 11. Number 12. Oh, I didn't realize number 12 had a 2 in the front. Not going to give you one of those. Let's not worry about those right now. Number 13, here we go. Oh, this is a long one. Let's see if I can get it to fit. We get an n plus 2. And that's going to go into the third, plus 7n squared, 14n plus 3. Okay, so I need an n squared first. So it's going to be an n to the third, and then plus 2n squared. Of course, we're going to subtract that. So that's going to give me a 5n squared, and then bring down that 14. All right, I need a plus 5n, so that I get 5n squared whenever I distribute. 5n times 2 is 10n. And again, with a subtraction, that's going to give me a positive 4n, and then bring down that plus 3. Let's see, so I need a plus 4, so that I get 4n, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So this one also ends up with a remainder. I will subtract again on this one. So you will get a negative 5 as a remainder here. So the answer, I'm just going to write it up here, would be n squared plus 5n plus 4 minus 5 over n plus 2. So that is the solution for number 13. 14. We get what? P minus 5 goes into, this is another long one, p to the third minus 10p squared plus 20p plus 26. All right, so I need a p squared here so that I get p to the third and then minus 5p squared. Again, watch out with your subtraction because that's going to make that a positive 5. So there'll be a negative 5p squared, negative 10 plus 5. Excuse me. Bring down that 20. So I know I'm going to need a negative 5p here. So that I end up with a negative 5p squared. And then a positive 25p. Again, whenever I subtract, that's going to become a negative. So that would be a negative 5p. And then bring down the 26. So I need a negative 5 here. So that's going to give me negative 5p. And then positive 25. Oh, so close. That's a 5. Sorry, guys. Because whenever I subtract here, right, that's going to become a positive, and that'll become a negative. So you get a 1. So your remainder would be a positive 1 over p minus 5. So that's the solution for number 14, p squared minus 5p minus 5 plus 1 over p minus 5. Yuck. 15. I have to start writing smaller, I guess. All right, so we have v plus 3, and that's going to go into v to the third minus 2v squared minus 14v minus 5. Okay, so I need a v squared. So that gives me v to the third, and then plus 3v squared. Again, I'm going to subtract. So when I do that, that gives me a negative 5v squared, and then bring down the negative 14. Okay, so now I need a negative 5v, so that I get a negative 5v squared, and then a negative 15v, negative 5 times 3, and subtract. So we know this time subtracting, again, changes our signs, so I'm just going to have a 1v here, and then bring down that minus 5. So I don't need anything, so to speak. Like it's already a 1v, and I have a 1v. Oh, I didn't know this did this. So cool. It's just sad that I get excited about it. So whenever I multiply, okay, so really you don't need anything, right? So plus 0. Okay, so whenever I distribute the 0, and we kind of did one like this in class the other day, you get a 0v plus 0, right? And you quote unquote subtract it, so you will end up with a remainder here that happens to be negative 5. So the correct answer to number 15 would be v squared minus 5v minus 5 over v plus 3. You don't have a linear term in this one, again, because of the 0 happening there. So that is number 15. That was kind of a weird one. All right, number 16. Where am I at? Okay, cool. That is an x minus 7. I just wrote all over it. So it's x minus 7 goes into x to the third minus 13x squared plus 40x plus 18. Okay, so let's see what we end up with. So I need an x squared. So I have x to the third, and then minus 7x squared. And then whenever I subtract, I end up with, what is that? Negative 6x squared. And then bring down the 40. So I would need a negative 6x. So that's the negative 6x squared, and then positive 42x. Okay. So again, when I subtract, that's going to change my signs. So that's actually going to be a negative 2x, and then bring down the 18. So I will need a negative 2. Gosh, none of these are coming out pretty. Kind of disappointed. So I get negative 2x, and then plus 14. Right, negative 2 times negative 7. And then when I subtract, that's going to change signs. So that's going to end up being a 4 for my remainder. So plus 4 over x minus 7. That's a 7, x minus 7. So your answer here is x squared minus 6x minus 2 plus 4 over x minus 7. All right, 17 and 18. I feel like I did one of these in class. I just don't remember. Just remember you got to switch these two. Oops, did not mean to do that. Yeah, we got to switch these two, and then like the other one's not written in descending order. I'm fairly certain I did this one in class. So you have the k plus 3, and then writing it in correct order, k to the third minus 4k squared minus 30k minus 18. It has to be in descending order. I know you guys are tired of me harping, but like that's how it's got to be. All right, so and then it's just the same thing. I need a k squared, so that's k to the third, and then plus 3k squared. And then again, we're subtracting here, so that's going to be negative 7k squared. And then bring down that 30. So I need a negative 7k, so that I have a negative 7k squared, and then negative 21k. Again, change your signs. So that's going to be, what is that? My brain just turned off. Negative 9k, and then bring down that 18. All right, so I need a negative 9, so that I have a negative 9k, and then negative 27. And then again, you would add these because you're subtracting, so that's going to be what? That's 9, right? Yes, I can't do math. 9. So my remainder will be plus 9 over k plus 3. So that's the solution for number 17. So it was just the same as the other ones. You just had to make sure it was written in the correct order. And the same thing goes for 18. Again, I'm sorry I wrote all over it. It's -1 plus k, so there's going to be k minus 1. And then again, rewrite that properly. K to the third minus 5k squared plus 8k plus 4. Wow, that's going to really overlap. Sorry. All right, so I need a k squared. So k to the third minus k squared. So when I subtract these, come on, Ken, that's going to give me a -4k squared, and then bring down that 8. So I need a minus 4k, so that I get minus 4k squared plus 4k. Again, subtracting, so I'm going to change those signs. And that's going to end up with a positive 4k, and then bring that 4 down. So I need a 4 here, so that I get 4k. So close. I was getting optimistic there for a second, and then minus 4, but whenever I go to change my signs, that is going to make that an 8. So my remainder, I'm going to write the answer over here because that's going to run into it, would be k squared minus 4k plus 4, and then plus 8 over k minus 1. So that's the solution for 18. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm not doing 20. Because again, there's a k in front. Alright, and then 19. I've got plenty of room now. Here we go. X minus 4 goes into x to the third plus 5x squared minus 32x minus 7. So I need an x squared. So I get x to the third and then minus 4x squared. So when I subtract, that's going to give me a 9x squared. And then bring down that -32. So I need a positive 9x. So I get 9x squared. And then -36x. Again, changing my signs. So that's going to make that a 4x. And then bring down the -7. None of these turn out pretty. Plus 4. So that's going to give me 4x minus 16. And then, of course, whenever I subtract, that's going to be, what, 9? So my answer for that one would be x squared plus 9x plus 4 plus 9 over x minus 4. That's the solution to 19. That was a very, very quick review over those long division problems.